if I didn't tell you the ingredients in each of these, or if you didn't think to look, then maybe you would probably go with this one. Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be going over the basics of fish feeding and fish mealtime. So this is kind of like Betta Food 101. Now this video has been requested quite a few times. It's a pretty highly requested video, which is I find interesting because I never would have thought to make a video like this. So that's pretty cool that you guys gave me this idea. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is what I feed my Betta. And I feed my Betta these omega-1 mini color pellets, and I got these at PetSmart for around $6 or $7. What I used to feed my bettas before I started feeding that is I fed these Wardley Betta flakes, or pellets actually. Now another fish food that I have, and it's more of a supplement, and that is these freeze-dried bloodworms, and they're by Topfin, and I believe I got these for around $5 from PetSmart. Now these are not to be used as a food all of the time. They're more to be used as like a vitamin or a supplement. Now the next thing I'm going to go over is when. Now I feed my bettas once a day, and I feed them around 10 p.m. It's kind of like when I'm getting ready for bed. It's kind of part of my nighttime routine is feeding my bettas and turning off all their tank lights. So I feed them, and then I turn off their lights when they're done eating. So this kind of averages out to being around between 10 and 11 p.m. Now, as far as who, that would be me. I'm the one who feeds my bettas 99.8% of the time. If I'm on holidays, my mom will do it. But I never really go for really long holidays. It's more of like I'm going camping for a weekend, and it's fine letting them fast a day or two. Now why? And the reason that I feed my bettas is so that they live. They're a living creature, and living creatures need to eat, so that is why I feed them. But the next aspect of why is why I decided to switch from this food to this food. Now, everything I'm about to say, I am allowed to say because I am not sponsored by any of these companies. So all of my opinions that I'm about to share are 100% honest. I started off by feeding my Betta these, and these are the Wardley Betta pellets. And I got them from Walmart, like I said earlier, and I thought, it's fish food. There can't be really much different. Like this should be okay. I posted something on the Betta Fish and Betta Fish Care forum, which you may know about. If not, I'll put a link in the description below. Although it was about an illness and it wasn't about the food at all, they did say that the kind of food that I was using maybe wasn't the best, and that the problems that I was having might be cured a little bit if I switched my food. So I decided to look a little bit more into this, and I realized that the ingredients between just a regular basic brand of pet food and a higher quality brand of pet food is actually quite significant. So I'm just going to kind of read the ingredients of this one. Now, I'm going to read them kind of fast, and I'm probably going to mispronounce them. But I'm going to read them pretty fast because there's actually quite a few. So I'm going to start. So this one is fish meal, wheat flour, corn gluten meal, dehulled soybean meal, fish oil, shrimp meal, brewer's dried yeast, ground dried spirulina, L-ascorbyl 2-polyphosphate propionic acid, observed acid extract. I know it's all supplement, the acid is nice and supplement first, sulfate, potassium, and both the supplement, your redox and hydroxide, binding by nitrobonic, if you notice, the first few ingredients are fish meal, wheat flour, and corn gluten meal, which are not fish. There's like a flour, it's plant-based. However, your Betta is a carnivore, so they're going to want to eat things that have a lot of meat. So if you compare it to this, which Omega-1 is one of the most recommended brands aside, as well as Aqueon, those ones are pretty good as well. So now I'm going to read you the ingredients for this one. Whole salmon, halibut, whole herring, whole shrimp, wheat flour, wheat gluten, fresh kelp. That's it. So as you could see, I could actively pronounce everything in there. So halibut, I don't know if I said that right. The ingredients are significantly shorter, and the ingredients are all fish. So that's why you want to stick with a better brand like that, because it has a lot of protein. It has a crude protein, which is really important. So if I didn't tell you the ingredients in each of these, or if you didn't think to look, then maybe you would probably go with this one because it's a little bit cheaper. However, after you read the ingredients, you may kind of lean more towards this one. So if you do feed your fish Wardley Betta pellets, it's okay to feed them that. They're still getting their nutrients, it's just maybe not getting as much. Now another why is why I only feed these to my Betta once every couple of months. Now although they are an important piece of your Betta's diet, It's good to have that little supplement in there. It's not good to feed it as the base, and that is because having too many of these could lead to bloating. Now, these are perfectly safe if you don't feed them too often, and it's perfectly okay to leave these out. Now, the last thing is how. Now, I did mention how I fed them every day at around 10 p.m. However, I never mentioned how much I fed them. So the omega-1 here actually comes with a little spoon. It looks just like this, just a small little spoon. So I can scoop out the pellets as I like. And I give them about 5 or 6 pellets, and that seems to be how much they like to eat in their allotted time that I feed them. But you want to make sure that you stick to your feeding schedule. So if you're a new Betta owner and you're looking at your Betta and you think, he looks hungry, I'm feeding him and he's still super excited and he's still eating, he's going to keep eating. He won't give you a clue that he's full, and which is why you want to kind of feed them whatever they can eat in like a minute, because anything more than that, they'll keep eating anyway. So now a quick summary, because I love to do summaries in my videos, and that is the who. Who feeds the Bettas? Me. What? I feed them omega-1 color mini pellets, but I used to feed them Wordly Betta pellets, and sometimes I feed them top fin bloodworms that are frozen. When I feed them around between 10 and 11 p.m. every night, and I do that because it's easier for me in my schedule, and that's what I've been doing with them for a while. Why? I feed them to keep them alive, and also I feed them the higher quality brand because the ingredients are a lot healthier. There's a lot less fillers. Now, how? I use a little spoon, and I feed them 5 to 6 pellets per fish per day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of basic video on Betta feeding and meal times. Like I said, this was a highly requested video, and I didn't even think to make a video like this. But because it was so highly requested, I thought that I would give it a shot. So hopefully I did my best and I answered all of your questions that you guys would have wanted to hear and see. And if you have any further questions regarding food, leave me a comment down below and I'll try to answer them. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video and that it was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye! All these people are walking their dogs down my street and they keep staring at me, and it makes me feel really weird. So, anyway.